Hey everybody, welcome back to our second Thrifty Tuesday. So you see what I got here. I have my seeds, I have my egg cartons, I have my soil over here. You just can't see it. But today on Thrifty Tuesday, what we're going to do is we are upcycling egg cartons. Okay, yes, this is thrifty as well because it's something that you're not spending a lot of money on. You might have bought your seeds, but guess what? You're not spending money on what it is that you're putting them in. We're saving on seed trays. So we all know how many eggs come in here, 12. And then you also have your 18 count egg trays as well. So I have 5 of these. So 4 would be what, 48. And so 5 of these would be what, 56, I think. Let me see. 60. Wasn't doing my math right. Yeah. 5 times 12 is 60. So we can get 60 different seedlings up in here. And the greatest thing about these, biodegradable. So these break down if you're composting them, or if you're putting them in soil. You can just tear this little piece out, especially once it gets wet, and take this whole little cup here and put it either in the ground or in your raised bed or in a bigger pot. So let me stick my gloves on and we're going to start filling up our seed trays. Okay, let's get that done. I've already moistened my soil, and we're going to go ahead and start putting this up in here. Now, while we're putting all of this in here, let's talk about what seeds we're going to start putting in right now. This is January. So anything, okay, first let me say I'm in Richmond, Virginia, zone 7A. So for my zone, you have to look at what you can plant for your zone, okay? So for my zone, I can start putting in things that need anywhere from 100 to 300 days to grow. Okay, so those are the things that I'm looking at putting in. And then some things that don't take that long to grow, but I want to be able to have them out in the spring. You know, think about when you're going to Lowe's and you want to be able to have your coleus out. You know, they had started putting their coleus plants out somewhere in like the middle to end of March. You start seeing, or the beginning of April, you start seeing your coleus that you can put out in the yard. So think of what flowers that you want to put out at the very beginning of the spring. I'm just going to do these 4 for right now. At the very beginning of the spring. So that way they'll be ready to go either in the ground or in your pots. You got your pansies, you know, you got your coleus, and any other flowers. So let's see what we got in the box. And I feel like, as well as any type of vegetables that you want to start for the spring as well. Now I got to open this up and see what it is. Because I can, oh, these are my collard greens. Collards. You know what? I will do a tray of collards. I'm just gonna pull just a few out, a few seeds out. And this whole tray right here will be collard greens. Now I can always thin them out. They can always get thinned out. So I know that these are my collards. One of the other things I want to put in for the spring as well, I still have kale growing, but I want to do, of course, some more Swiss chard. I have those seeds right there. Let's go ahead and get some of these in. You can see the chard seeds here. And I'm going to over sow those as well. Now the thing with your Swiss chard seeds, you can also direct sow these, and they do well also with direct sowing. I have direct sowed Swiss chard before, and they have done awesome. Have not had any problem direct sowing them. Matter of fact, I've actually done, for me in the past, I've done better direct sowing these in the spring. But, and I will direct sow some of these as well, but I wanted to go ahead and get some of these started inside of these little trays here. Now this does not mean that I'm not going to still use my other trays that I have, but I did want to get a few things going here. All right, now your herbs. These are things that you can go ahead and get started early as well. We got dill, which takes 65 days. But if you look here, you see this lavender, 100 days. So this being January, guess what? By the time comes for us to be able to put this in the ground, it'll be about that time. 100 days. We know anywhere after April, these will be definitely ready. And I'm not trying to put them all the way in, and I'm really overdoing it on purpose. All right, guys, the next thing that we're doing is I got this from, guess where? Lowe's. So it was regularly $16.98, but I got it half off. So I only paid $8 for it. It came with the pot, the 3 bulbs, and it also came with the growing medium as well. So I'm going to take this, stick inside of here, and guess what we're going to do? Add water. And then we'll wait for that to expand. And while that's expanding, we're going to do some other things. Now, my battery went on my camera a second ago, so I want to explain to you what all we have in these trays here. So you saw where I put the collard greens in, you saw where I did the Swiss chard, and I put lavender in. The last thing that I put in was the bird's nest gourd. Okay, we put in this here, which was the bird's nest gourd, and I'll show you what that seed looks like. And I'll show you what that seed looks like right here. And we did an entire tray of those. These take 110 days, which means it'll probably more than likely take longer than that. The other thing I did was these last two spaces right here, we put in the Big Max pumpkin, and I only did 2 of those seeds, and these take 120 days also. This one was 110, the other was 120. Okay. And the other thing that I am going to do with this as well is once spring gets here, I am going to sow maybe 2 more of these seeds where they will actually go directly into either the ground or a growing pot. And basically, I just want to see the difference in what will happen with me starting it super early and then with me putting them in. Because a lot of times, my growing season for pumpkins, it seems like I'm not getting them when I really should be getting them. I'm not sure if I'm not putting them in early enough or putting them in early enough, but just not paying as much attention to them. So we're going to see with those. Okay, and this is just about ready. And so that's what we're going to do with this here. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is take these, move it over to the warming mat. And because this is already, I've already watered this, I'm going to set this on top of it. Basically like this on the warming mat for right now, until I can get something wide enough to put that entire thing in. So I do have some other things that are over here on the warming mat, one of them which don't need to be. I'm going to turn you guys around so you can see. Alright, so now that you can see, let me move this. And I'm going to stick all of these on the warming mat for tonight. Sorry about shaking the table. Trying to see what's the best way to stick these under here. Alright, that'll work for tonight anyway. Now, what else I'm going to show you while that's going is, if you look here, these are some kale greens that I started a little while ago. And then this is some Merlot lettuce right here. And so I'm really excited about this kale because it's actually time for me to go ahead and stick it in. To be honest, stick it in a planter, stick it in the ground. And I do have a planter that's close near the house that I'm really thinking about. That's where I'm going to stick this kale. So it can just do what it needs to do. Okay, so let's come back over here. Let's check on this. It's getting there. Alright, so I'm going to rough up this soil a little bit, and then we're going to get these inside of here, okay? Alright. It looks like it is just about done. I may need to add just a pinch more water. I don't want to overdo it. Alright, so I'm going to give that just a few more minutes. A little bit more water. Alright, so we have everything right where we need it. We got our bulbs, so let's get them in this growing medium. All I'm doing is sliding them over. and 3 can definitely fit in here very easily. I have an extra little one there. Fluff everything up around it, and there we go. They're all inside. So I'll probably add a little bit more growing medium to it a little bit later. As they grow out, I'll add a little bit more soil to it. But there you have it. These are called paper whites. This is what it looks like. They were regularly $16.98 at Lowe's, and I got them for $8. So another thrifty find. So, you know, thrifty can come from anything. It can come from upcycling your egg cartons, or it can come from getting a good find at a store, whether it be Lowe's, whether it be Home Depot, or Family Dollar, or Walmart, your dollar store, something you already have at home. Thrifty Tuesdays, is it for you and me? I think so. So tune in next week and see what we got going on your Thrifty Tuesday. And just a reminder to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know every time I'm uploading, okay? Thanks for watching.